Ha ha. Ha. Fuck. Welcome to the Premier League predictions. You're going to get mad. Just fucking move on with it, right? Little disclaimer here, I do apologise that this may not be the most highly edited video of all time. I've been, of course, as I'm sure you're aware, last 6-7 months my channel has changed dramatically. However, I am literally flying out to Belgium in about like 3 hours time to go to the Burnley v Genk game. I'm kind of low for time right now, I do apologise. So I really feel like what is the best content I can do in a short time span? And that is perfect. I'm going to piss you guys off, so that's what I'm doing. But I do need to say one thing. Last year, I did really good compared to pretty much almost every single YouTuber in the space. I absolutely smashed my predictions by a mile, by the way. Like, here's this picture here of Smith. Granted, this was half for the year, but I'm pretty sure I saw a different video. I think it was called Matt SB or something, a championship YouTuber, and he also confirmed that I also went on and smashed it further on at the end of the year. I'm too fucking good. I didn't just win, I won by a massive margin. So if you're coming for any Premier League knowledge, big brain stuff, I'm your guy, right? Because I'm that confident on my opinions and my beliefs on how a team will go throughout an entire year. If you're a betting man, get your bets in, because I'm going to make you a lot of money here. Okay, so let's begin. I gotta say, not financial advice. Need to make that clear now. So we're going to go back to the good old days of me making bit more lazier content, but does it really matter? You're probably going to skip to when I talk about your team. So right now I'm really talking to no one. And while I'm doing that, I might as well do this. Well, hey, there you go. You knew it all coming, okay? Mazzola Designs, my own design company. This is our third most, highest selling product. Our best seller, of course, Burnley, Manuel Benson v Blackburn. Link down below. And use code YouTube for 15% off, my own company as well. So that's the A2 no frame. And of course, if you're on a frame, we've got an amazing Lionel Messi print as well. My own company, again, YouTube 15% off. And look at that. It just looks amazing, right? I'm so proud of it. So that's your advertisement to myself. Oh, here we go. I'm back in my element, man. Okay, now I feel like I'm at home here. Okay, tier maker, just really bad content. It's fine. Okay, you're here for my opinion. So if I can get away with anything, it's this video. So Premier League, you already know how it works. Here's all the positions and the rankings. You're not 8 years old. Let's crack on. So for me, as a Burnley fan, I gotta just highlight that I'm a Burnley fan. So whatever biases you may see may come from that context. So I do like to start off with the bottom three, as most people do. However, I do feel like this is possibly the most interesting part of this entire thing. Like, as a person that's more interested in the bottom half, as a Burnley fan, I find that much more interesting than talking about top 4, top 6. For me, I just find that much more interesting to talk about. So, let's go into the most easiest, most simple prediction I could possibly give you, right? Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay. We're gonna have Palace in 11th. Okay, that's just that. There you go. Just like that. Palace 11th. Because Palace. That's my reason. I don't need to give a reason why I think it's Palace, right? I just got to say Palace 11th, and you agree with me, and that's it. I mean, last year, I actually tried to give them a bit more credit. I tried to go and think outside the box, think, you know what? Everyone's going to say 12th, 11th, or maybe 13th. I'm going to be different. I'm going to say like 8th. I think I put them 8th, or at least 9th. I backed Palace last year. However, they still came 11th, right? So, I'm going to just stick with my guns. I can't get this one wrong. No one will be mad at me, and it probably will be spot on. So Palace is 11th because it's Palace. So simple as that, really. Let's crack on to the next one. For me, this is my first kind of like big out there shout that people may disagree with, but I can kind of see this going for Fulham. And I'm going to say Fulham will be in the kind of lower mid-table. I don't think they'll be in a fight for relegation, but I think this year will be not second season syndrome, but I think with the likes of Mitrovic potentially leaving, I think he's almost guaranteed to leave. I think, as far as I'm aware, he's actually said that he wants to leave. He's not going to play for him again. That's a lot of, that's big shoes to fill, man. So I'm sure they're going to get the right recruitment and bring another striker in, but they won't be Mitro. I just can guarantee it. They won't be as good as Mitro. Also, I'm hearing rumours that Marco Silva could be going to Saudi Arabia. Paulina's got a lot of offers by West Ham and many other teams as well. So it's a weird time for Fulham. They've got a lot of interest with a lot of their key players, and you know, like, it's a sticky one, man. So I think this year they won't do as well. And that's just, you know, I'm just sad to say, but I just think that it will happen like this. I don't think they'll go down, but I think they'll be in a situation where they would be maybe a bit of a shaky start, or maybe one part of the year that you're thinking, oh, maybe they'll go down, but then they'll be fine, you know, after like 3 months later, right? So I think it was 13th. I think I put 13th for Fulham. They'll be fine, they'll be safe, but yeah, I just kind of feel like Mitro, a lot of players could be leaving. It's big shoes to fill. Is that they've still got some good players, and they are a well-run club. So, well, I think they are anyway. So I think they should be okay. But I just think they may have a bit of a setback from last year, because they had a very good year last year. But when Mitro was injured, it was a bit shaky at times. But maybe they were on the beach. You never know. Okay, next up, let's go for a team that I think is my shot for top 4. People may not agree, but look, never doubt in the man Jurgen Klopp. Simple as that. Last year, of course, they didn't qualify for European football, and I think Liverpool will do all it takes to get back in there, even if it means that they will have to not put as much attention onto the Europa League. Liverpool are all about the Champions League. They're all about the big years, so they will do all they can, and I don't think the Europa League would really be at a detriment for that, really. So Liverpool, great signings. They're letting go of a lot of their older players. Henderson's gone. Fabinho's going as well. Firmino's gone as well. And, you know, they're bringing in some younger players. You know, Szoboszlai and McAllister, some good players as well. And, you know, Nunes, second year, hopefully can crack on. Trent looks rejuvenised. He can crack on as well, if it's a midfielder or whatever it is. He looks pretty good. Now, there are still some areas that are a bit aging. You know, centre-backs, I still think that they need like a big player there, because it does seem a bit inconsistent. But all in all, I don't think any issues with Liverpool. I can see them as a sure thing for top 4. Never doubt Jurgen Klopp, because they will always go in some mad form at some random part of the year, and they'll be fine, right? So, yeah, I expect Nunes to crack on, okay, after his first year. Do pretty well, and I could have seen them being easily like 3rd, 4th. Like, it's kind of hard to really pick. It's kind of a roll of the dice from the other team, but I think they'll be top 4. I'm gonna go to the other side of Liverpool now, to Everton, man. Everton. For me, Everton are the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, do I think they'll go down? No, I think Everton will be. I think I predicted them. I think I put them 17th. For me, Everton, I don't know what they're doing. They still don't have a goal scorer. Now, they do have Danjuma potentially on the way. Be really funny if he backed out again, but I doubt this time. But even still, unless they can confirm a striker, because Calvert-Lewin is he's not a footballer anymore. He just hasn't got the legs for it. I'm pretty sure at this stage, he still hasn't got the legs for pre-season, and he's been away and back and forth for months and months now. You can't rely on Calvert-Lewin. Maupay is not a Premier League striker. They need a striker. They need goals. I don't see where the goals coming from. The one thing about Everton is that they've got good home form when it matters. Okay, maybe not midway through the year, but when it really matters, Everton's home form does come up. And defensively, they have got a decent enough team. You know, they've got a decent defence. It's just reminds me of Burnley when we had Sean Dyche. We had a pretty good defence, Burnley. I think we're like the 12th, 11th, like best defensive team in the league. But we still went down because we couldn't score goals. I don't see many goals in that Everton team. So unless they do something and actually sign a big striker, Danjuma is one thing, but he's a creator, really. He can score goals, but I don't think he's the answer. Maybe him and someone else. There's still time, of course. I am doing this pretty early, but this is Everton. Everton aren't really known for making good decisions in the market. They're just not. That's not Everton, man. That's not how they roll. They'll have a semi-okay start. People will think that they'll be okay. Then they'll hit a slump, probably get 1 or 2 injuries again, as they always do. And then it will hit the fan again. But I think their home form will always come up. And Everton, for me, they will never, ever get relegated, no matter how hard you try. But they're not going to make any progress as far as I'm concerned. So, Everton, 17th, which kind of ruins probably the point of it. Maybe 16th, I don't know. I may change my mind, kind of just how I'm going with this. So, I'm sorry to do this. I really am. I'm really trying my best here, guys. I really want to go for you. But Luton, man, I just can't. Like, honestly, I've been here for like all day thinking, can I come up with a good reason of why Luton will stay up? And I can't. I can't. And people may say, yeah, but Luton, the Kenny, think about it, the home form, that will keep them up. But, lads, I'm a Burnley fan. I've been in the Championship last year. I've seen Luton Town play at home. They're not that good at home as you think they are. They had the 9th best home form in the league last year. Now, of course, that may change. That may change now that they're in the Premier League. Sure, right? Okay, sure. But I need to see proof of that. And I'm not seeing proof of that too much. Like, ninth best home form in the league is good, right? It's not bad. But people are acting like that's the main reason why they were in the playoffs, and it wasn't. I mean, they came third, right? A great season for them. 3rd place finish. Very good team, very well organised, very well structured. A great team for any team in the entire country that's below, in the Championship or below, or even probably some Premier League teams like Everton can probably model themselves by. They're a model club for many teams to represent, to try to copy. However, I can't see it. They're signing players that, for me, looks like they're signing players that will make it more likely for them to get back up again if they go down this year. I think they're building a team to be a very good level, high Championship team that if they do stay up, then amazing, but I don't think they are really banking them staying up. And I don't think any Luton fans would really be that angry at me for saying this. I think most Luton fans that's relatively reasonable would think we're probably not staying up, right? We're probably not doing it, but we're going to have a proper go and have a laugh. And that's what it's all about, right? So I don't think I have you 20th. I've got to think about that quickly. But I think I can't see a world where you're staying up. Your home form isn't really that good. Maybe it may change, but I need to see proof of that. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Luton. I really, really, really wanted to stay up, but I got to be reasonable here. Okay, I really got to. So, yeah, Bournemouth, bottom 3. Next up, let's go with... I'm going to go with West Ham. West Ham are a weird team. They're a really weird team because they ended the year so well. Well, they ended it well with Moyes, but then they also won the Europa League. And then they also won the Conference League, right? So everyone's like buzzing, thinking, Champions of Europe, all that good stuff. And they're buzzing. And they should be, right? I mean, why wouldn't you? But people do fail to forget that West Ham in the Premier League last year was atrocious. There were so many times last year that they were calling for Moyes' head. In that kind of January, February, even March period, there was serious concerns that West Ham would be getting relegated, man. Serious concerns. Like they weren't all about it. I can't see Moyes, staying on for the end of the year. I can't see it. With Rice going as well, a big miss. They've got money now. They've got money. However, the issue is everyone else knows that they have money. So to try to replace him with, let's say, a Pauline from Fulham, you're going to spend big money, man, because they know that you have it. So, look, West Ham, a lot of hype in them right now because they won the Conference League. But all in all, if we're being still honest here, they had a very poor year last year and they've still made no signings. They can probably try and make it 2 or 3 or 4, with that Rice money. Depends on who it is. I think they're signing the Borges lad from Man City from the Premier League 2 team. Very good player, but probably not ready right now. Only time can tell with him, but I don't think he'd be hitting the marks instantly for West Ham. So I just genuinely think it'll just be an okay year and that there may be a few concerns with them maybe going down. But all in all, I think they'll be okay. So West Ham, I think I put them in 12th place. I think West Ham fans may take that. And keep in mind, they've also got European football in mind as well. So they've got European football again in the Europa League. And they've also got a team that has got some quality, but Rice is now gone. A big hole in that midfield. And they have got some players that are kind of still not in the right area. Some good quality, but I don't think they're really moulded in the right way yet. So for me, West Ham 12th place. Sorry, lads. Do I think a team would break into that top 6? With Spurs and Chelsea. For me, it's really Spurs or Chelsea that I'm concerned about in terms of that top 6 and teams breaking into that, man. Because Chelsea was pathetic last year. That's the only way to really explain it, man. Chelsea, I can't really explain to you how pathetic last year was for them. Considering the money that they spent, I think it's up there with one of the worst calamities in Premier League history. Like, in terms of worst seasons, by a worst entire campaign, what Chelsea did last year was possibly the worst ever, considering the team they have, considering the managers, because Potter is a good manager, man. Probably not the best suitor, maybe not best time, but he's a good manager, man. Okay? They had Tuchel as well. Good manager as well. And they got good players as well. They should not be where they were last year. Christ, were they 12th? There were genuine concerns of them actually being relegated in like April. People talk about, hitting the famous 40-point mark to stay up. They got 44 points. They were only 4 points off that. Crazy, man. So, for me, Chelsea, if I'm being deadly serious, man, I'm concerned. Like, I'm thinking 7th. I'm thinking 7th place here. Because with Poch, I want to like him. They've still got a lot of players are leaving, man. So I get it. A lot of players, a lot of filling. A very bloated team. They're getting them out. Happy days. Cool, man. But my issue is with Chelsea, the fact that I still don't see a consistent team. What's their main 11? I can't tell you. The midfield for me is now pretty weak now. Got Enzo Fernandez with Conor Gallagher. Caicedo can come in, but it's not confirmed. But I think he will come in. But then I still think it's low on depth, really. Attacking wise, they got a lot of decent attacking players, but I don't really know where they even fit in. Jackson will be the main striker, but is he really ready now? I don't think so. And Kunku's number 10. Okay, that makes some sense, but I just think that there's an issue with who else is being mixed into that team. I don't really know how it's all come together here. Sterling's still playing with Mudryk, and I just think it's still a bit of a mess, personally. I know Chelsea fans from last night are buzzing because they beat Wrexham 5-0. Okay, bro, it's a League 2 team, for Christ's sake, come on. And defensively, I still think there's still some concerns. Chilwell is injured all the time. Reece James is injured all the time. Thiago Silva is now a pensioner, man. He's world class, but he's getting on a bit now. And in the net, it can still be a bit shaky with Kepa. So for me, Chelsea, I'm still not confident in you guys. You spent all this money, and I don't know where it's gone to. So at this stage, I'm not even convinced on 7th. I'm concerned about you guys because I don't know where your goals are actually really coming from. Right now, 7th, but I may change my mind later on. Let's go to Brentford. Brentford, losing Ivan Toney for half of the year is a big miss. However, because of, and people may think that, Brentford may actually be in a fight to go down this year because of the fact they're missing the likes of Toney. Big miss, and it is a big miss, man. It's similar to Fulham, so it's a big miss because it's their main number 9. However, simply because of how well run Brentford is, that's why I'm kind of not anywhere near as concerned about them. They've got still a fantastic technical team, a great ability in almost every area, and they can see ahead, man. They know what they're doing at Brentford. Their philosophy is perfect, and the manager is immense as well. So for me, I've got no problems with Brentford. I think this year they'll have a bit of a dip because of Ivan Toney missing half the year. It still will be an impact, but I don't think there'll be in any concerns of going down, personally. So I think Brentford, I put them in... I think I put them... I want to say 10th as well. 10th or maybe... You know what? Actually, you know what? I'll put West Ham 10th and Brentford 12th. Palace has to be 11th, right? Palace cannot be moved. For me, I really should put Palace 12th, but that goes against the Palace rule. The Palace rule is 11th place, and that's it. So I'll go with Brentford 12th with West Ham 10th. I'm okay with that. Palace cannot be moved from that position. But yeah, Brentford... incredibly well-run club. Even with Toney gone, I still think they can replace him, and even if not, they'll find a way somehow tactically to make that loss not as impactful. I really like Brentford, if you can't tell. And I think I'm going to put in a lovely, cheeky Aston Villa. And I think with them, they'll be 8th place. Between them and Chelsea, for me personally, between them and Chelsea, I'm thinking, honestly, I'm really thinking that I could put Chelsea below Aston Villa. However, my only thing is the fact that Aston Villa have got European football, the Conference League, right? Well, they're in the qualifiers, but I think they'll be fine. Chelsea, they've got no European football, okay? They've not got any of that. So that alone for me kind of nudges them a bit further on. Chelsea, of course, got a better team technically on paper, but I think Aston Villa with Unai Emery is a fantastic outfit. My only thing is European football, it's the first time in quite a while that they've got that, mixing European football. I know also the likes of the Premier League. Unai Emery is literally a European football specialist for that kind of stuff. other than at Arsenal. But you know what I mean? I think he will really aim for the Conference League, and I think that could maybe at some point in like kind of later on part of the year, in like the March, April time, I think that's when you may see a bit of a drop off for the Premier League, and I can see Aston Villa being in a kind of 8th, 9th place position. But I think they could be challenging, as they've got a great team, got a great goal scorer, great midfield, great defence, perfect manager, really good team at Aston Villa. I just think with European football that may hinder them later on in the campaign. I'm going to go for, next up, I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest. Okay, we all love trees. Yeah, I think with them, I really like Gibbs White. They spent a lot of money last year, and I don't think they're spending really too much money this year because of last season. I don't think they'll go down. And I think they'll be... I think I put them 15th. I think they'll be in a bit of a scrap, maybe a bit of a concern. Their away form last year was atrocious. Man, their home form is what kept them up, of course. I think they only won once away from home the entire year, and I was away at Southampton. That, of course, came dead last. So away form was pathetic. But Cooper, for me, is a good manager, and I do quite respect the club for the fact they kept with him. They backed him the entire way. I do highly respect that. They're still a bit of a mismatched team, and I do think there is a world that I can see them going down, but they've got some star quality in there, in the likes of Gibbs White and Johnson too on his day. Johnson and Gibbs White are the main two players, as long as they stay fit. If they stay fit, they should be fine. If there is an injury at some stage, then that could be a bit of a concern. But I think it'll be fine. Okay, so we need to aim for the top here a little bit. So let's go for a team that I think will be in the Europa League spots, and I think it will be Newcastle. Up the tune, okay? That's all I can say about Newcastle. I love them. I can't see them qualifying for Champions League again. I can't see it, mainly because they're in the Champions League now, okay? It's hard to really, as we've all seen, it's hard to, combine Premier League football with European football. I'd love to see a world that they can get out the group stage. And I think it's possible if they get a semi-reasonable draw. I think they can make it out to the round of 16. I don't think it's impossible. Leicester made it to the quarterfinals back in 16-17, man. So you never know. Newcastle, I think they're in a much better position than compared to Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, has better players in other areas, but Newcastle has a better team. You can spend all the money that you want on individuals, but money doesn't buy you a team, and that's how I see Newcastle, man. They're fighting for it day in, day out, and adding quality to that team that we saw last year. It was a very hard, defensive, resilient team, okay, with quality in the final third, and they are adding some quality, like of Harvey Barnes, pretty much confirmed, and of course, we can't forget Sandro Tonali, which is an incredible piece of business, man. So Newcastle, I love them, and I'll hope to see them do well, and I've put them in 5th place. I've put them 5th. I think 5th place for Newcastle. I want to see that happen. They haven't got the best depth in the world. Depth-wise is not the strongest. It's okay, but it's not insane. So I think that may play a factor at some stage, and yeah, I think 5th place. And maybe I'm being a bit too nice to them, but I can see it going. I don't think they're going to fall off. I really think they're going to hold on to what they have right now. So for me, Newcastle, 5th place. Okay, so let's go to a team that I think will go down. Okay, and I kind of want to back them a bit because of the fact that I saw them a lot last year. I just think it's Sheffield United, man, and it seems really boring, but I saw them week in, week out. And for me, with Sheffield United, they got a very resilient, sort of experienced team. However, I do just think, I think defensively they're decent. Home form, good home form. Second best home form in the league, of course, behind Burnley. Good home form, good experienced team, and they've got players in there that have experienced Premier League football, and that may play to a big factor. So I'm not saying that I don't think they're a sure thing to go down, and I actually am predicting them 18th, not even 19th. Okay, I think they can stay up, but the thing is that I struggle to see who's scoring the goals. Now, of course, there's Matt Burney, which is inconsistent, but he can be really good on his day. And then there's Njai, which Njai, I'm seeing a lot of rumours that he may be going. Even with Njai, I still think he can go down. The manager, Heckingbottom, I don't rate all too much, personally. Like, he's a good championship manager, but I just don't think he's enough to get them to stay up in Premier League. Personally, I can't see it, man. For me, I got to put someone at bottom 3, and for me, I just got to put Sheffield United in there. So, sorry, lads. I really do apologise. Let's go to the top 4 now. And I think joining Liverpool in top 4, you kind of already know the other 2. So, let's just kind of end it now. I think I'm going to go and put Manchester United, and I'm going to put them... If I'm thinking who's the better team between Liverpool and Man United, I think for the better team, I'm putting Liverpool. I think they may have a bit more threat in the final third, personally. I like to bring in that Højlund from Atalanta. Is he... I don't think he's particularly ready right now to be a pure number 9 for Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, in England. I don't know if he's ready right now, but can be a good piece of business in the future. I still think they'll be relying heavily on Marcus Rashford to score a lot of the goals. I think Liverpool's attack is better than Man United's, but I think that United's midfield is better than Liverpool. But it's still a bit of an unknown entity because Liverpool could be a different midfield to what we're used to. So it's a tough one. But, if I'm picking Klopp or Ten Hag, I'm picking Klopp. So Liverpool 3rd, United 4th. Okay, so we've got 7 teams left here. Christ, it's been a long recording. I do apologise, lads. Let's go with just a kind of easy middle of the pack. Brighton, I think that they'll be 9th place. Again, similar to Aston Villa. Very good teams. Very well run. Quality players as well. So many great players at Brighton. Only thing is, European football, they're playing now in Europa League. They're going to really be excited, put a lot into it. And I think they can, again, could go reasonably far. They'll be out of the group stage for me. I don't think that's a concern. And they can go, into the round of 16, quarters, maybe semis. Depends on who they get, man. Trying to balance European football and also with the Premier League, again, it's the first time they've got it. And they're going to have to experiment to kind of balance that out across the entire year because it does make a big difference, man. So I don't think Brighton fans will be all too upset, but they've got a great team nonetheless, so I don't think it'll hinder them too much. I think 9th place, any Brighton fan will take that as long as they get a decent run in Europe. Now, for me personally, I find the top 4 boring, so I'm going to do that part first because usually it's quite predictable. I don't want to do it, but for me... They're just inevitable. I'm sorry, okay? You can knew it was coming. No one's surprised. I would love to see a world where, we have a new winner. And I have nothing against City. I don't. I like City fans. I think they're a good fan base. I know many fans. Good lads. But I always want to see the team in 2nd place, do something. I want to see that happen. And, of course, that team is, of course, Arsenal, by the way, not Spurs, before anyone gets excited. Arsenal taking place. Arsenal, they're getting better. They've now added Declan Rice to the team. They've now added Kai Havertz to the team. They've now added Timber to the team. And, of course, they're not losing anyone. So their team is getting better, man. And technically, City is they're getting worse. In theory, Gundogan is now gone. Mahrez is looking like he's going. Probably is going, actually. Kyle Walker, I've heard a lot of him potentially going as well. They're missing some players. They brought in Kovacic for Gundogan. Okay. Could be also a smart piece of business. And, you may think in a world, they're missing some players now. They're letting some players go. However, for me, City are probably the smartest club in the country. And if they let anyone go, they do it for a reason. They don't let them go because they've been bought out or anything. They let them go because they don't need them anymore. And they don't want them anymore. And that's the way I see it to a City. They're just inevitable. And I want to see Arsenal win the league. I want to see Liverpool win the league. I want to see United. I don't care, right? Burnley fan. I've got no real horse in this fight. I don't actually really care who wins the league too much. As long as it's entertaining. And for me, it'd be more entertaining if a team that, hasn't won it 3 times in a row doesn't win it again, man. So, yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Arsenal, they're going to go for it again. I think they can bounce back again and go for it. However, in the end, Haaland and Pep Guardiola does their thing, right? It's sad. I'm sorry. I want to be exciting. I want to go for it, but I've got to go with the facts that I see in front of me. And that's the fact that City are City. I know they're going to drop off at some stage, and there'll be some excitement, and I hope that it does go down to the wire yet again. But it's City, and I'm sorry about that. Let's go with Spurs. Spurs to end it off. Now, I'm looking at it now, man. And Spurs are so weird because they could be 5th or 6th, but they could also be 10th. Like, for me, I see this as... I'm trying to compare Spurs, and for me, it's between Spurs and Chelsea, man. For me, it's between them. And maybe even Aston Villa. And this is, for me, a sort of transitional year. Depends on what happens to Kane. But I think Kane stays, personally. I can't see him leaving. I just can't. I think Spurs could expect this to be a somewhat transitional year. And I don't think they'll be all too upset if they don't have the best of seasons here. Because of, you know, as long as they play attacking football, I think Spurs fans won't be that upset, personally. I think they'll be excited to see some good football. As long as it's good football and they can see a sort of plan, they can see a clear philosophy that's, you know, that is attractive, then I think they'll back it. For me, their main issue is goalkeeper and defence. And for me, I just don't really rate the defence. And I don't really rate the goalkeeper. And I don't really rate the midfield. I'm thinking about it now, and you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go Chelsea 6th. I'm gonna go Spurs 8th, and Aston Villa 7th. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced on your midfield, and I'm not really convinced on your defense either. There's some good players there that can be good on a day. You're gonna be playing some good football, but I think defensively, I think you may concede a bit of, you know, a few goals because of it as well. With Ange, I think this could be seen as a sort of transitional year and can be seen as a bit of a buy as long as they play some good football. And that's kind of how I read that situation, man. So 8th place, but play some good football and hopefully go far in a cup. I think Spurs fans can be happy with that. So now we've got the last 3. We've got Burnley, Vizeh, Bournemouth and Wolves. Do I think Burnley, my club, do I think we will be in a relegation dogfight? And I always try to be balanced. I always try to be clear-headed. You know, last year when Burnley won Championship, I put us, I think, 6th. Now, from my knowledge from this year and the players that we're bringing in, I'm putting us 14th. Now, I don't think, personally, anyone would be angry at me for saying that. I don't think anyone here is actually angry at me unless you didn't watch us. If you didn't watch Burnley at all, then you may have no idea. Then I don't blame you. You may be ignorant. Look us up, okay? With all the stats, with all the knowledge I have, with the players that we're bringing in, with Company and the manager that he is, he's not naive. People will say that, yeah, but you play good football, but you can't play that way in the Premier League. Well, you know what? It's a good thing that our manager literally is a Premier League winner that played in the league for about a decade. It's a good thing we got that right. Not like we have a guy that's not known in the division. He knows what to do. He knows what to expect. He's not naive. He's going to adapt our tactics a bit to suit us better. And for me, my kind of unpopular opinion is the fact that I honestly think Burnley are much more likely to be 10th place than we are to be 18th. Like if Fulham last year can go on and come 10th place, if Leeds 2 years ago can go on and be 9th place, if Sheffield United, went on and finished, I think 10th place as well. Like if these teams that come up can do this, then why can't Burnley? Trafford coming in, Amdouni coming in. Amdouni, I think it could be a fantastic coup for the club. From what I'm seeing of him, from what I'm hearing from him, could be a great talent that we've just signed. Because of our Vegas, but for me, if you're an FPL man, Manuel Benson. Keep an eye on Manuel Benson. Absolute unbelievable player. And then there is Wolves and Bournemouth on who I think will go down. Wolves or Bournemouth. Let's put them to shot here. It is tough. I think a lot of people are on the same track that Wolves are in a bit of a mess right now. And Bournemouth are on the rise. But yeah, it's Bournemouth, man. And that's why I just kind of want to end it off here. I'm putting Wolves 19th and I'm having Bournemouth 16th and Everton 17th. That's what I'm doing. I think Wolves, I see very, very, very similar things to what I saw. Because last year, I also predicted Southampton to go down. Because of the same reasons of why I think Wolves can go down. I think Wolves are seriously in a mess. I don't really know what they're doing. In terms of creating goals, XG, bottom last year. Really bad. They're losing key players and likes of Jimenez. That, of course, hasn't been good for 2 years because of his injury. But, of course, Ruben Neves, that's a big, big miss. Okay, I can't really see who's going to be a goal scorer for them. I cannot see a world where Wolves will keep the manager. I don't think he's staying to the end of the year. No chance for me. I'm seeing a lot of Wolves fans thinking that they're not playing good football. It's a stagnant stage of their club right now, and I think they're looking for a rebuild, but that rebuild was attempted last year. They spent a lot of money last year, a lot of money, like a lot, and I don't, it's definitely not paid off for them, and I think they are in a bit of a sticky situation, man. And all around, I don't think their midfielders are the best, I don't think their defence is the best, and I don't think their attack is the best. Sar's a good keeper, but all in all, I worry for them massively. I don't think they have too much money right now to spend this year. So, time can tell, but I'm concerned for Wolves. And then Bournemouth, I can't really miss out on them as well. Bournemouth, a team on the up. People will think because it's Bournemouth they may go down again, but I think it'll be okay. I don't think there's any sort of second season syndrome here. But there is a bit of concern with the manager. Like, if they kept O'Neill, I think I would have put them a bit more higher up. You know, at least ahead of Forest and Burnley maybe. But for me, losing a manager, they're bringing this new lad from Rayo Vallecano. Did a great job over in Spain, but can he transition it? Only time can tell. Making big moves, but all in all, I still think as a squad, it could be a bit of a concern at times. It can be, and I think they could be in a bit of a scrap as well. But I think Bournemouth, you know, just because of the feeling of the club, they're on an upwards trajectory for the most part. That's it. That's the entire Premier League. That's my prediction. So we've got. I still put Luton. I don't want to put Luton 20th. I really don't. But like, I'm sorry. Give me your thoughts down below in the comments. I mean, people may give me some stick, but hey, last year I was by far the best person in the entire YouTube scene for my predictions. So before you ever go at me, maybe give me a chance first, because I think I've earned the right this year to be given a bit of credit. Okay, so yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. And by the time you see this, I'll be in Belgium watching Burnley in a pre-season tour. Be with the boys. And also my birthday as well. I think my birthday is on the 23rd. I think I upload this on the Saturday. So if you want to wish me happy birthday wishes as well, I turned 25. I'm now old. Then feel free. But I won't cry if you don't do it. So it's also like a 30-40 minute long video, so I don't expect to still be here. But yeah, thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.